Alright, we're going on. Here's number 14. Can calcium and or soy help with bone density? These are supplements you might take in your diet. Here's the experiment. 600 men were assigned to soy, calcium, or both. The bone density is checked after some time has elapsed. So we need to identify some of the things you see in these kinds of experiments. We're talking about the subjects, the ones being experimented on, the 600 men. The factors. The factors are the explanatory variables that might be varied for each of the subjects. So they can either have soy or not, so soy is one, or calcium or not. So soy and calcium are the two factors. The response variable is what you measure at the end of the experiment. It's bone density. And then the treatments involve the combinations of different levels of the factors that you might use. We're not assigning men to some kind of a control group because we want to compare soy, calcium, and both. We pretty much know if you don't have any of those that your bone density is probably going to stay the same as it was. So it's a before and after type of experiment, and so I don't know what the response. Bone density before and after, maybe I should say that. Before and after supplementation. Before and after. We'd anticipate if you don't do any changes to your diet, your bone density is probably not going to change, so you might not have a control group, but you might decide you want a control group. Here he said they didn't do it. So there's 3 treatments. Soy without calcium, calcium without soy, and both together to see if maybe there's some kind of interaction that might make it even more powerful here as a supplement. Here's the diagram. You have 600 men. You randomly assign them to 3 treatment groups. You assign the 3 treatments, and you compared bone density before and after treatment for each of the subjects in each of the groups based on which treatment was done. So we have to assign people randomly to these groups. How do we get the people in the groups? For the treatment 1 group, all the subjects are numbered from 1 to 600. Okay, and then we're going to randomly select from that list until we get 200 subjects. So we'll put them in treatment group 1. And then we continue on to get 200 more for 2. It's not very practical to get such a large sample using the random number table, so we use some other kind of system to do it. But here we're just illustrating how you would think about doing it anyway. We're going to see how you would assign the groups to the 600 men, who would go to group 1, and we're just going to do the first how many. It says on here, the first how many? Randomly select, and 14. The first 5. Okay, we want to find the first 5 and put them in group 1. So we number them from 1 to 600. So 001 to 600 is how we label the subjects. They sometimes ask you, what about the label? And then we go to line 124. Here it is. Since it's 1 to 600, we're going to break it up in 3-digit blocks because they're 3-digit numbers. But the numbers have to be between 1 and 600. So as we go along here, I get 710. It's not on the list. That's good, that's bad, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's bad. That's good. Once I've got there, I've got my 5. And so we're just looking at 350, 143, 367, 494, and 271 on the list. And that's how we'd assign the treatments. I wonder if I finished the problem. I didn't read it carefully. Yes, that's what they wanted. Okay. And then I skipped ahead because the next problem didn't fit where I wanted to. I went to 19. 19 says, an advising survey was mailed out to all current students. I guess CSu-Pueblo students. We're making up a story here. I know they have surveys though. I don't think they mailed them out. 25% were returned. We have this problem anyway. If you have a survey, even if it's a web survey, people don't respond to the survey. And so they say only 25% were returned. Are there any cautions that you might give to somebody who wants to use the survey results? And the answer is yes, there's cautions. With a small percent being returned, the ones that tend to be returned are from people with strong negative opinions. So strong negative opinions may be favored. And then you look at it and go, well, that's still 25% is a big number. But maybe 25% of the students have strong negative opinions and the rest of them have positive opinions, but we just won't know. So you have to treat those kind of survey results with that kind of caution, that unless you have a survey that has a large proportion of the students represented, then you can be pretty sure that voluntary response is kicking in, and that that group that responded has strong opinions, and usually those strong opinions are negative. That's what causes people to respond to surveys. So there we have that, and making progress.